talking some more of The Boys on the channel with the Season 3 finale. What a finale it is. It's a stacked finale. This episode and Herogasm are probably my favorite episodes of the entire season. It's also kind of bittersweet that this is the final episode because it has been so fun talking about The Boys each and every week with you guys. Speculation was really running rampant this week after that revelation at the end of the last episode with Soldier Boy being revealed to be Homelander's father, and what that would entail for the finale, whether we would see them team up, would they actually still fight each other, all of that stuff. Ironically, we get to see another father-son moment when Homelander actually goes and finds Ryan thanks to Newman's help, and they do have a nice bonding moment. I guess it would be nicer if it wasn't Homelander. After everything, he does accept Ryan for who he is, but it does make me frustrated for something that comes along later in the episode, which I'll get to eventually. With the setup here for the final showdown, now knowing the terrible side effects of all this temporary Compound V, the stakes do feel a little bit higher here since we know that Huey and Butcher are kind of pushing it into that lethal dosage level, especially Butcher because Butcher's been using it a lot more, and I think he knows that when he tries to keep Huey from going off on the mission with him and Soldier Boy. Not that it really keeps him away for that long since Annie does come and pick him up not too long afterwards, but at least now he finally is told just how terrible this temporary Compound V is, and he reacts basically how you expected he would. Even as someone who's never been a big fan of A-Train, I actually felt pretty bad for him in the episode when he does go and see his brother, because he is happy that he's getting all the perks of being a superhero back, but really it's at the cost of his losing that relationship with his brother because of the fact that he murdered Blue Hawk, and that's not what he wanted. Coupling this with some of the other revelations in these previous episodes with A-Train, I wonder if we're on the right path here to him becoming at least a better superhero in some shape or form compared to the rest of the seven. After everything with Maeve, these last couple episodes with her being kidnapped and people wanting her to be freed, I really figured it would be a bit more difficult for her to break out, but it's pretty easy. She gets transferred out of the prison and breaks out there. And you still have Soldier Boy and Butcher going on the mission to take out Homelander, but now that Maeve has told everybody in the group that Soldier Boy is actually the father of Homelander, things do get a bit more complicated there. Because they do want to save Butcher, but also stop Soldier Boy and Homelander from even meeting, but we still want to have Homelander die somewhere in that equation. It does play a lot into that unpredictability aspect since we know that they're father and son, because I wouldn't want Soldier Boy and Homelander to team up in any case. I think that if they team up, everybody loses. One of the many awesome things about this finale is the fact that we get to see all these different teams finally in the same room together, because that has been one of the things I've not been a big fan of in Season 3, is that everybody's been kind of scattered into little subsect of teams, but now we get to finally see them all interact, and it isn't sunshine and rainbows, unfortunately. A lot of them are venting frustrations to one another, because that was one of the main reasons why they were separated in the first place, and one of them gets put in the safe while the rest of them go on the mission. The show is certainly like to subvert expectations with some of these characters if you're a comic book reader of The Boys, and I think they've done that the most with Black Noir, because Black Noir is a completely different character in the comic book series, but we see that even more so hammered home in this episode, the finale, when Black Noir goes back to the tower and he's trying to team up with Homelander to take on Soldier Boy, which in essence sounds like an awesome idea to finally get to see Black Noir take on Soldier Boy, because that is like the main thing we have not seen yet, is the confrontation between the two of them. However, that is immediately thrown out the window because Homelander asked Black Noir if he knew this entire time that Soldier Boy was actually his father, and he did. It seems like a lot of people actually knew that but never told Homelander. So consider me shocked when Homelander kills Black Noir in this moment, because that is completely different from the comic books. You know, in the comic books, he was Homelander's clone, and he actually kills Homelander later on in the comic book series. So now it's completely new territory here. We're completely changing things from the Boys comic books, so who knows where we're gonna go over the future of the series, but I was just as shocked as A-Train in the Deep were when Homelander comes in later and puts his mask on the counter. Anthony Starr has been phenomenal all season long, but he is especially excellent in the finale because he is showcasing such a range of emotions here as Homelander, because Homelander is going through so many different emotions throughout this episode in particular. Not gonna lie though, I am a little bit bummed out that we never got to see that matchup here, that rematch between Soldier Boy and Black Noir. I imagine Black Noir would have died either way, but it just would have been cool to see in the finale. Also, I don't know where else to really put this in the review. I just thought it was very amusing that Ashley this entire time actually has been wearing a wig, because we have seen her pick out her hair a lot in these episodes, but I didn't think it was that bad. There were quite a bit of moving parts setting up this climax, and so many folks are doing different things. You have Huey evacuating the building, you have Kimiko protecting Frenchie while he works on his plan to take out Soldier Boy. That scene in general was pretty great because Maniac's playing the entire time, and now that Kimiko is back to being superpowered again, it is great to see her just kick a lot of ass. From here on till the end of the episode, this is some of the best stuff of the entire season, along with the stuff in Herogasm. It's amazing amazing. Finally seeing everything pay off that we were building up to with the finale, because now that we know that Soldier Boy is his father, he wants to team up with him to try and play towards his aspirations of a family, even attempting to roll in Ryan, which had me nervous, I'm not gonna lie, just because I really didn't know. I mean, it really kept me on my toes here, but I did laugh when Soldier Boy called him weak and a disappointment, which angers Ryan. I kind of feel bad for Ryan in this case because his grandfather is Soldier Boy and his dad is Homelander. That has to be some of the worst family tree probably ever. That really was the kickoff point though for all of the battles, because Ryan lasers Soldier Boy and then Soldier Boy hits him. And they are superpowered and all, but he is still a kid. And since we know Butcher has plenty of attachment to Ryan as well because of his wife, he turns on Soldier Boy. And we get like a mini team up here of Butcher and Homelander's lasering Soldier Boy, and then it's just an all-out brawl for the rest of the episode. All the different fights in the finale are epic and filled with so much tension, since you are nervous going into all of them about who will win and if some of these people could actually die in the process. One of the ones I was most nervous for was Maeve taking on Homelander, which was satisfying enough, but I had a feeling that Homelander wasn't going to really lose that fight. More of, I hope that Maeve survives. Really pulling no punches here in this exchange. Homelander grossly is gouging out her eye, and Maeve pulls a John Wick and stabs him to his ear. It was glorious. The fight between Butcher and Soldier Boy was a lot more entertaining, I'm not gonna lie. Also due to the fact that so many other members of the boys were tagging into the fight as it went on. It was pretty brutal all the way around. Further showcases just how many people it takes to take on Soldier Boy because Soldier Boy is so powerful. I was even nervous that Huey was going to tag into the fight because we do see him hesitate here, potentially using that temporary compound V once again, risking his life when he sees Annie join the fight. Thankfully, Huey does the safer option here for himself and just turns up the lights so Annie can just supercharge herself and blast Soldier Boy. Probably one of the coolest moments we've seen of Starlight so far in the entire show. We have seen Annie use her powers in some really cool ways before, but this is probably the coolest, most powerful we've ever seen her. After everything involving MM's arc, I was glad that he was the one who got to put the thing on Soldier Boy and try and put him to sleep, but we do throw a wrench into that plan because Soldier Boy is gonna try and explode, which is pretty bad for pretty much everybody in like a 5-mile radius because I'm pretty sure that would kill like the entire cast of the show. I was nervous going into this situation, what was going to happen, but I did not expect Maeve to be the one that has the sacrifice here, tackling him out the window and blowing up. After everything that she's had to endure, I felt like this was a noble sacrifice for her character. It did get me though, because I thought there was no way possible, even with her being superpowered, that she would survive that, but she does survive, and it seems like now she's going to live a normal life with her wife, pretty much having her get away from the superhero madness as it is, and we do see her footage of her survival was deleted as well, so this is a pretty good send-off for Maeve as a character. It's kind of disappointing that we probably won't see her anymore, but I'm glad to where we took her character. Like, she survived, she doesn't have to be in the show anymore, have to deal with Homelander, all that stuff. Kind of a sort of happy ending when it comes to the boys. After everything, we do see that Soldier Boy didn't die in that explosion, but he is going back in the fridge. So if we do want to bring back Jensen Ackles for the character, we do have that option there. Jensen Ackles was great in this role. I would love to see him once again if they do more seasons with Soldier Boy in the future. Everything else, however, I am very intrigued to see more explored in season 4. The epilogue, the setup here for all of that stuff. With everything that went down, it's understandable yet frustrating that Ryan would choose to go with Homelander over Butcher, but it is frustrating because they pretty much only had that set up here because Butcher treated Ryan terribly the last time they interacted. I don't think if we had that scene, he would have chosen Homelander over Butcher. Him being under Homelander's influence does have me scared for next season when we do see him introduced to the fans as his son, and the people cheer when Homelander takes out the guy. He kills the guy that throws something at Ryan, and he smirks a bit. So I can only imagine what terrible things Homelander is going to imprint on Ryan because he is this very young, impressionable child, and I don't want to have 2 Homelanders running around in next season, so I am worried about that aspect here. There are at least some happy endings to this finale, though. I did like the completion of MM's arc. Now he's able to share with his kid all of the stuff about his family and the past photos. And Annie is not Starlight anymore. She throws it in the garbage, and now she's an official member of the boys, which has me excited leading into next season, because I forgot to mention earlier that the Deep took out the VP candidate, and now that the new VP candidate has been chosen, and of course, is Newman. Newman is trying to climb the ladder politically even further, and I am really intrigued to just see where we go with that into next season, especially with the really sad revelation here when we find out that Butcher only has about a year or so to live maximum because of all of that use of the Compound V has caught up to him and it has really affected his body. I don't know. I don't think I want to see Butcher die this early on. I feel like the show is so wrapped around Butcher as a character that I don't know how much I would like this show if Butcher wasn't a fixture in it. Maybe we're going to figure out a way to keep him alive longer, maybe give him some actual real Compound V. I mean, who knows, really? I feel like we don't have too many seasons of this show left anyways. But either way, that's been the finale for Season 3 of The Boys. Make sure you share your thoughts down below. What do you think of this finale? What do you think of all the final battles, the revelations, and all the stuff that's set up for Season 4? Share any thoughts or theories or predictions you may have where we're going to go in Season 4. It's part of the fun to have the conversation with you guys in the comments section down below. Thank you guys so much for checking out the review. I really appreciate that. Make sure to like on the video. Also, subscribe to the channel so you're always updated my reviews, reactions, unboxings, and more. Next time, I'll see you guys later.